Have you ever thought of building your dream home?
It's such a beautiful thing, building your own home, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
With prices going through the roof, why spend a fortune buying? This is why these guys chose this plot. Look out over this. It's absolutely cracking. When you can build a home you've designed yourself.
There's no going back now.
I'm Mark Miller, and I've been in the trade for over 30 years.
All these bricklayers and joiners, carpenters, plumbers, they're all artists.
In this series, I'm helping people achieve their new home dreams.
Show me around the house.
Okay,
Show me around the
there we
house.
go.
Take me in. Let's go.
In the front door. I've not been in my lounge yet, you know.
It's nice, isn't it? I'll tell you what you could do with a bit of a vacuum. Whether they're assembling a new kit house, building an extension, or rebuilding a ruin.
I can't wait. I really, really can't wait.
I'm so excited.
You don't have to be rich or a designer.
This is the kitchen. It's huge.
We're going to show you how to create a forever home for your family.
They've actually doubled the size of the property.
If you're brave enough to take the leap,
Whoa!
and build your own.
Isn't it stunning? Good Lord! What do you think? It's absolutely beautiful.
Build your dream home in the country with me, Mark Miller. This time I'm in the South Downs National Park, which spans a breathtaking 600 square kilometres from East Sussex to the gentle rolling hills of Hampshire.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Mark.
I'll be meeting police workers Lee and Paul, who are going part-time and building their dream life in the country. But first they are embarking on an epic big build, taking a small, ugly house and transforming it into a beautiful home, twice the size.
It's a lovely dream, isn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully it will soon be a reality.
So they can achieve their goal of living in a traditional village in the heart of an amazing, beautiful countryside. It's September, and I'm on my way to meet Lee and Paul. They've been together for 7 years and have just bought their dream home in the country. At least it will be, after a lot of building and refurbishment work, to double the size and give it a huge contemporary makeover.
So I'm in Hampshire to meet this couple who've had this dream to live in a village. And they've done it. They've bought the property. It's a bit ugly, but I think they're going to turn it into something very beautiful.
In 2021, the couple bought this 2-bedroom property for $580,000. It may have a functional living, dining room and kitchen, but this ugly duckling hasn't been updated since it was built in the 1950s. But that's all about to change. Forensic support manager Lee met retired Detective Superintendent Paul whilst on a job.
I met Paul whilst working for the police. We actually met at a murder scene. I was running the forensics side, and he was running the investigation side. Yeah, and we actually met literally over a dead body.
Now semi-retired and in their 50s, the couple are leaving their old life of crime and punishment in busy Southampton behind.
On this estate that we lived, you know, we would see people that would get up early in the morning, go to work and come home late at night and lock their door. And there was no real sense of community there, to be honest. We wanted to be in a village where not necessarily everyone knows everyone, but, you know, there's that kind of village feeling.
So they have left life on their estate and the streets of Southampton. For this, a tiny rural village with a pub, duck pond, and surrounded by English countryside.
There was just fields all around me. There's a farm next door to us. And in some ways, it didn't really matter what the house looked like, I don't think. I just thought, oh, this is where I want to be.
The couple have been married for 4 years and each have 2 grown-up children. Now they want to create a dream home for their blended family and newest member.
And we do have a joint child. Ralph.
Oh, Ralph.
Ralph.
Oh, yeah.
Who's 5.
He's actually our favourite child, sorry. He is our favourite child.
He's 5, he's a cockapoo. And, yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Lee and Paul are using all their savings to make their dream move. They're currently in a rented accommodation because they're about to make their house uninhabitable.
Where I'm anxious around timescales is that we are currently renting, and so for me that's dead money. You know, you're paying rent for when you actually own a house somewhere else. So the quicker we can move in, the quicker we can stop paying rent elsewhere.
Lee and Paul have a budget of 200,000. They plan to build a massive 2-storey extension that will double the size of their property, turning it from a compact 2-bed into a comfortable 4-bed home, and have big plans to refurbish the entire interior and transform the exterior too. And in order to save some money, they've already rolled up their sleeves and started stripping the rooms themselves. And I can't wait to hear all about it.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Mark. Look at this, I found you.
Welcome to the museum.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
the museum is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing that I have noticed. A large pile of clay.
Yes, a very nice
That sort of tells me in my little brain that you might have started doing something.
We
have.
have.
Have you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You want to show me what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, come and have a
Come
look.
this
Lovely.
way.
I've timed my visit perfectly, as today the couple are breaking ground. The footings for an extension are being dug just to over 1 metre deep, and later will be filled with concrete to form the foundations.
This is amazing. A lot of clay.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of clay.
Yeah.
We're already in here. We've got foundations starting to be dug.
Yep.
We're about metre 1.2 down here. A lot of clay.
Yeah.
But I tell you what I've noticed is that there's a pile under here.
Yeah.
On the house itself, which tells me this is either subsided or it was being built on a raft. But that pile doesn't look like it was built in 1950.
Piles are used to underpin foundations to make them stronger.
No.
No.
So you're exactly right. This was underpinned back in the 90s, I think it was. The whole house has been underpinned. So that's probably the evidence you're seeing down there now of that.
So that means if we're in all this clay, we'll have to underpin that again. We'll also have to do a reinforced concrete footing. And you've got drains running through here as well.
Yeah.
They're going to have to be bridged. So when you come out of the ground, this is like a major part of the build, and a lot of money goes into this as well.
Yeah.
Getting out of the ground is quite important, and
Yeah.
it's got to be bang on.
Yeah.
So, they've got a big double height extension coming out of the ground at the back. And what about the original house?
Looks a bit different in here.
Yeah.
So I take it that's going to be the lounge in there.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah?
Staying as it is, but not exactly as it is.
Not exactly.
obviously.
And then that all knocks out into the extension that way.
That's correct.
Because
yes.
at the moment, it feels like a 1950s house. It's
It
got
does.
really tight walls.
Dark,
There's not
yeah.
much light in it, so it's going to be light.
Yes.
Light.
Yeah.
Staircase open, spindles.
Yeah.
That wall out into the extension. I love it. I'm loving it already.
Excellent.
Lee and Paul's house is a 1950s red brick with a reception room either side of the main staircase. Upstairs, there's a bedroom at the front and one at the back with a small bathroom. And the good news is, the house is solidly built.
This is a really good investment. Really good. Into the really sumptuous lounge. This is the last part of the original house.
It is.
I love it.
Beauty, isn't she?
I bet you're throwing it out.
Yeah.
What? No. You're not, are you?
We'll probably try and sell it, actually. There is actually a real market for this kind of
I
thing.
know there is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your dream interior, just what would that be? How would you sum that up?
I suppose I do have a vision for the inside, but that doesn't mean it won't evolve on the way. I think it will. And I think you've got to be open-minded to that, haven't you? We love entertaining, we love having the family over, so it's really important that although we're creating a beautiful home for ourselves, that we also have this, family space and just, enjoy family, enjoy the countryside.
It's a massive build, a 2-floor extension that will have a huge kitchen diner with floor-to-ceiling windows onto the garden, next to the original living room. They're also making the entrance hallway bigger by extending it into the porch. Upstairs, the extension will house their 21-foot main bedroom with vaulted ceilings and an ensuite. And my favourite, a balcony looking out over the views beyond. There are 3 more bedrooms and a bathroom, and they are cladding the whole exterior in timber to make it beautiful. That's a lot of work.
When do you want to be in here? How many months from now?
In our heads, we've written off Christmas for this year, thinking we won't be in here for Christmas. But we think hopefully January, February time.
Wow.
Fingers crossed.
They hope it'll take 5 months, but for that schedule to have a chance, they have to plan ahead. Thanks to the double whammy of the pandemic and Brexit, materials like timber are taking much longer to get to site, and prices are going up every week. So they may not be doing the cladding until the end, but they have to order it now.
It's going to be hundreds and hundreds of metres of timber.
Yes.
Have to get it ordered now.
Yeah.
And get the price set, get everything set in concrete, as the guys are doing over there.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
That was the one thing I would say.
Yeah.
Don't leave it to week 10.
No.
Yeah.
Just, I would get it on now.
Sure. Yeah.
Get that order in the bag.
Even though they've started already, finishing by February would be very quick. They're doubling the size of the house and transforming it inside and out.
This sounds absolutely beautiful, but you've obviously got to pay for it.
Indeed.
So
We have, yeah.
have you actually worked a budget out, or between yous, or, you know?
Our sort of total budget, we're hoping, will be about 200,000.
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it?
That's 200 grand to build and renovate, not including their dream kitchen and bathrooms. So on top of the purchase price of 580,000, they're planning to spend in the region of 800,000 on the home. But to buy something similar here, ready to move into, would cost over 1 million. So the effort should be worth it.
Well, I think that's great, 200 grand. I'm sure you'll make it.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Coming up, the build hits its first hurdle with massive machines stuck in country lanes. You on it? We build our way up to the second floor and get a glimpse of the dream.
How amazing is that going to be? Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited.
Look at that happy face.
I know.
But big dreams mean big money.
We had a contingency of about 10,000, but I think we've already hit around 20,000 so far, which is quite eye-watering, really, you know, when you're on a tight budget.
On the edge of the glorious South Downs National Park, semi-retired police workers Lee and Paul have ditched their busy city life in Southampton for their dream of living in a picturesque Hampshire village. They are sinking everything they have into doubling this 1950s house in size, with a massive extension to turn it into a beautiful family home in the country. Today is a crucial step in the journey. The concrete for the foundations is due to be poured, but living in the sticks means problems for the 26-ton concrete truck.
Come back as you are. Left hand down.
There's no way the truck can get round the back of the house where the concrete is needed. But where there's a builder, there's always a way. They bring in another truck that has a 40-metre pipe. The concrete is transferred from the mixer to the new truck. Then a massive 20-ton crane is used to hoist the pipe over the top of the house, so the concrete can be pumped through it straight into the foundation trenches. It beats using a wheelbarrow. The foundations will take a couple of days to dry, and then the extension build can start. In just 2 weeks, the builders make quick work of erecting the walls of the extension. The internal skins and steels are going up, and they'll soon be fitting the floor joist for the upstairs level. And things are moving so fast. I'm back in Hampshire in late September, just 3 weeks after my first visit.
Well, I'm back to see Lee and Paul for a progress report. Let's see what's been going on.
The rear extension is coming along nicely, and with soaring energy prices, getting it insulated well is key.
Very straightforward build. Concrete block on the outside, insulation in the middle for the cavity, and thermalite block on the inside. Nice warm structure.
Getting out of the ground and up to first floor level has eaten up 50 grand, a quarter of their budget.
Hi,
right.
Mark.
How are you? I'm very
good.
well.
You?
I'm after a progress report.
Excellent. Come on in. There's been lots going on.
It doesn't look any different.
Come this way, you'll see the difference, hopefully.
Oh, my God, there has been progress.
There has been a lot of progress
Hasn't
since
there?
you were here. I know. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm so, so pleased with it.
I bet you are.
Yeah. I can already visualise myself in this kitchen. Looks great, doesn't it?
It's beautiful.
I can't believe how excited I've actually been getting just watching it all come to life, to be honest.
Don't you think builders are like artists?
They have definitely make it look easy, but there's so much work that's going into this, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with them.
Big kitchen.
I think it is going to be quite a nice-sized kitchen, yeah. I do have a question for you, though.
Do you?
I need some advice.
Ooh, thank goodness it's not a spelling question. Terrible spelling.
I was thinking about maybe having pocket doors here. Yeah.
Lee wants to knock through a large opening between the extension and the old living room to create more space when guests are over, but also be able to close off the separate rooms too. Pocket doors are sliding doors that disappear into the wall when they are open. They also help with energy bills as they close up big rooms.
So it's a living room snug, and I don't want to lose that living room snug feeling, but if we're having family, friends, entertaining, Christmas, that kind of thing.
You want it to flow all the way through?
I would love to be able to just open up that space and be able to utilise that snug area as well, so that we've then got this really big family living space.
I think it's a great idea. The only thing is, because you've got solid walls there, to do the pocket doors, you have to actually create another false cavity for the doors to go into.
OK.
So it makes the living room, that living room, probably a little bit smaller.
Oh, OK.
But yeah, I think it'd be a really, really nice feature to it.
So worth looking into.
It's very worth looking into.
What
It's
about...
all about flow, isn't it? But what about the budget?
Well, yeah, it would probably make us go over budget a little bit.
I reckon this will add at least £2,000 to the budget. I'm also here to help out today. We're starting the second floor of the extension. I love working in a team of skill builders. Once the floor joists are laid, this area will be the spectacular main bedroom.
Seeing it now with the walls up, we definitely put 80% of the footprint back on, haven't we? Back onto the property. It's going well, isn't it? This is quite a nice extension, you know. It's quite strange because it's quite a square-looking house and stuff. But the guys have got quite an amazing roof to cut in, and then they're going to knock through onto this floor. It's going to be really beautiful, and they're going to have the views right over those fields. It's really, really nice.
The build is only just starting, and it's great that Lee can already get a glimpse of the future.
Amazing. Yes, look at this view.
Do I feel a little air of excitement?
Oh.
A little buzz?
There is definitely an air of
Is there?
excitement. Yep. This is going to be the view from our balcony from the master bedroom. How amazing is that going to be? Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited.
Look at that happy face.
I know. Literally,
Is that sore?
my cheeks hurt. Yeah, this is amazing. Isn't that beautiful?
Is this the dream that you were dreaming?
Definitely. I want to make the most of being here, be able to see across the fields, you know, look at the sheep and the cows, and you know, it's got a really cathartic feel to it, and I'm really excited about it. This is exactly what we dreamed of.
Well, I would love to wake up in the morning and watch a couple of old dairy cattle wandering across there. It's a lovely dream, isn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully it will soon be a reality.
But there are still 4 months more building work and £150,000 to get through. Work on the roof of the extension starts in November. Another massive crane has squeezed down their leafy lane. A beam is hoisted high above the house. It's a delicate manoeuvre. One slip could cause a lot of expensive damage. The beam sits at the top of their bedroom's dramatic vaulted ceiling.
The roof is starting to go on now, which is fantastic. I mean, that's really taking shape.
Inside, the team are taking out walls to create the large main bedroom.
The builders are now starting to knock through the main walls.
But with winter approaching, the extension is still a few weeks away from being wind and watertight. And costs are spiralling.
Budget has gone over. We're still halfway through it at the moment. We had a contingency of about 10,000, but I think we've already hit around 20,000 so far, which is quite eye-watering, really, you know, when you're on a tight budget.
Leah's in the driving seat and she's on site every day facing questions and making decisions. And they all come with a price tag.
I don't think you can underestimate the kind of stress that something like this puts on you, probably more than we thought. And then suddenly you've got to think about where that money's going to come from and are you going to be able to finish it to the standard that you wanted it to. Certainly we didn't account for how difficult it would be.
You have to think when you're doing a project as big as this that you have to have some contingency money, don't you? Because you're going to have unforeseen costs and things. Don't underestimate the amount of involvement you need to have when you have a project this big. You need to be in contact with the builders, so it does take an awful big chunk of your time.
Coming up, the work goes further over budget and over time.
I think recently we've been just feeling it's been going on forever and like we're never going to be able to move in and
They need my help to solve a problem with their new kitchen.
All of this is because of this 150 soil stack.
What happened to having wooden drawers?
Well, you just went for a fancy kitchen, didn't you?
And months of renovation take their toll on Paul.
I am done. I want it done. I want everyone out.
It's winter in the picturesque South Downs National Park. Lee and Paul are 3 months into their build. The landscaping for the new driveway has started and the windows are being installed.
I can't believe it, it looks so nice.
And having taken my advice about ordering the wooden cladding early, the exterior has taken on a new lease of life. Inside, the underfloor heating for the extension has been laid and a liquid screed is being poured on top.
Look at that. That looks so good. Such a big space.
The bedrooms are starting to take shape, and despite the weather, they are pretty much on schedule.
You know, they said all along it'd be end of January, and it's going to probably be mid-February, I think, before we can move in, so you can't really argue with that. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Even though the weather's freezing, Paul and Lee are on site with their own specialist contractor.
Got 2 layers of socks on. I still can't feel my toes.
Thankfully, their new heating system has arrived, and it's an important glimpse into all our futures.
We've got the air source heat pump that's starting to be fitted as well, so really good.
Air source heat pumps are a greener and cheaper way to heat your home. From 2025, all new homes will be banned from fitting oil and gas boilers.
I'm unbelievably excited. I mean, the air source heat pump really sort of stood out for lots of reasons, but mostly because it is really an environmentally friendly option.
The heat exchanger, which is combined with the air source heat pump, is usually fitted into a room in the house. But Lee and Paul, having a large garden, have decided to fit theirs in an outside shed.
We made the decision to have a plant room in the garden and have it all stored in there because otherwise we have to find space for it in the house. But that also makes it really accessible as well. And yeah, that's what's being done today.
You'll tell us the set point temperatures you want us to work to, and we'll set that up.
Will I get lots of lights and buttons inside? That's what I
Lots of lights and buttons, nice little flashy controllers.
It's January, and after the Christmas break, the build is pushing forward.
I'm back in Hampshire to see Lee and Paul, and I can see they've been busy. It's looking pretty good. On the outside, let's see what it's like on the inside.
The Douglas fir cladding is looking great.
Hello, guys!
Hi, Mark.
Look at this!
I know.
Changed a bit, isn't it?
It's like you've taken this really hard building that was sitting in the countryside, and you've wrapped it up and made it really cozy and soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy with it.
Show me the gorgeousness that you produced.
Come on, have a look.
Show me, show me, show me.
Come on.
Still looks like a building site, guys.
Well,
Come on
a
here.
little bit, but there has been some changes. There has been
Some changes. Look at this.
I know.
What do you think?
I know. What do you think?
I love the ceiling. It's really beautiful. So it's
Absolutely
just a
loved it.
rough sawn timber
Yeah,
It's just
exactly
a rough sawn timber.
with a lime wash on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done some amazing work here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's all joy and love and peace and whatever at the moment. Has there been any problems?
There certainly has been, and we've got some challenges that we've got to overcome today, which we're hoping
really?
you're going to be able to help us with.
Lee has designed an L-shaped kitchen with units running along 2 walls. But after she bought the kitchen, Lee realised there's a waste pipe along the back wall right where she wants to put her kitchen units.
And the units come just past that soil pipe. So, and it's metal drawers, which is even worse.
That's going to be a tricky one to get round, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lee thinks that stopping the units to the left of the soil stack will compromise her perfectly designed kitchen. So they either move the soil stack or move the units away from the wall and leave a 150mm gap behind them for the pipe.
All of this is because of this
I know.
150 soil stack.
What happened to having wooden drawers?
Well, you just went for a fancy kitchen, didn't you? Huh? You said, this is the last time I'm going to move house, so I'm going to have a nice one.
Yeah, true.
This kitchen needs to go 150 that way.
The only way to find out what moving the kitchen units away from the wall will look like is by doing it.
On her plan, she's got a 150 here. She's got a 150 here, going that way. And that's the one we need to lose, I think. It's definitely the one we need to lose.
Losing a single cabinet under the sink will give us the space we need behind the units on the other wall, but it'll destroy the symmetry of Lee's cabinets under the window.
Nice kitchen, isn't it?
It's lovely, yeah.
Right. The wall like that, Ben, and up to you. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, up to me. And that needs to come that way. If we can get this laid out properly, it'll get over that whole problem of the pipe. But it's whether she will accept the non-symmetry here is the one thing to worry about. How's that?
About there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. So what Ben and I have done is we just moved the whole thing back 150mm this way so that we can still have the sink in the middle of the window.
As I hoped, seeing how moving the units will compromise Lee's design makes them ask about removing the soil pipe instead.
Mark, we've just spoken to the builder and we think the easiest option is to move that waste pipe outside.
How much?
About 250 quid.
Do it.
Do you think that's the right decision?
I'll give you the 250 quid. Do it. That's for nothing. Get it
We'll
done.
do it.
That's
We'll
the
do
way.
it.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
Excellent.
Thanks for getting me on the floor
Yeah,
in the dirt,
sorry about
lying
that.
down there, sorting it out and stuff. You know, that's fine.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this build. It's very interesting. I love the house and what they've done to it. It comes with a lot of character, but it also comes with a lot of problems. And what Lee and Paul are doing is they're embracing that and they're moving forward and making decisions as quickly as possible. They're communicating with their contractor, and that's what you have to do.
Over the next few weeks, the plastering is done upstairs, the cladding for the kitchen and the utility room goes on, and the kitchen units begin to be installed.
They've definitely done a lot since I came here last day, which is great. So nice to come and see the progression. I think recently we've been just feeling like it's been going on forever and like we're never going to be able to move in and, oh.
But after winter weather, nationwide material delays and extras added to the build. In March, work is still underway and there is no let-up for Lee and Paul.
One of the difficult things about doing something like this, a renovation of this scale, where it's the whole house, you're having to make a lot of decisions, aren't you?
I mean, we were both awake at 3 o'clock this morning
Yeah.
having a conversation, you know,
Yeah, we
about
were.
various things. Because you wake up and then your mind starts ticking away and then you don't want to forget that, so you're making notes on your phone.
Yeah.
I'll wake up, then we'll start having a conversation about it, which then leads to other thoughts and conversations, and it's quite tiring, really, isn't it?
But Lee and Paul have made a decision that means it's only going to get tougher.
On Monday, we've got a removal van coming along to move our stuff in. So We accept the builders are going to be there working around us, but we just need to get in there now and start living in there and start doing bits and pieces instead of this kind of tricky commute every day.
To make their house more beautiful on the outside, they have clad the exterior in timber. It's relatively simple to do as long as you follow some basic rules.
This particular timber is Douglas fir, and at the moment it's a bit orangey and bright, but this is going to oxidise and go like a silvery grey, very beautiful, and just vanish into the countryside, and that's what you want. You don't want the property standing out like a sore, cladded thumb. But to do it, you've got to do it right, because the house must breathe. So what you do, this particular building is a brick building, so there's a vapour membrane that goes onto the brick, and then there's 2 layers of battens, one horizontal and one vertical, and that's so that the air flows all the way through here, because you don't want the building to start sweating, so it's really important you look after it. And obviously, you've made a gap between the brick face and the timber face of 50 millimetres. So when you get to the bottom of the building, you've got to add an insect mesh all the way around the bottom, because otherwise, all the little mices and all the little animals are going to climb up in there and think, ooh, this is very nice in here. This is a gorgeous way of doing your property. It looks beautiful. Smells beautiful. That's a very nice way to finish off your home.
To make their house bigger, Lee and Paul are adding an extension onto the back of their house, which involves smashing through walls and huge upheaval. But there are alternatives that don't require you to lay a finger on your home.
It's a very beautiful house. I don't want to see the house. It's up here I want to go. It's in the garden. Look at this.
Created by a room in the garden, this 25 square metre room is a great alternative. It has bifold doors, cedar cladding and insulated panels. It was built in 8 weeks and doesn't need foundations. Instead, it sits on giant screws that hold it in place. Now that's clever.
Not all garden rooms require planning permission because they're classed as an outbuilding. Some of the things you need to look out for is you're not allowed to put a garden room at the front of your property. It must not take up 50% of the garden space around your property, and it has to be single-storey and cannot be more than 2.5 metres high. And you can do all that on permitted development. But make sure you check with your local council, because different councils have different rules. This garden room here is very beautiful. It's a luxury garden room, and it's at the high end of the market. This would cost you roughly the same as adding an extension to your property, but with a lot less hassle. Doesn't mean to say you have to spend all that money. For about 10 grand, you could do a stick build in your back garden, which is a timber frame, and insulate it yourself. I know that's a lot of money for some people, but what a beautiful addition to your home. I'm absolutely loving this luxurious space in the garden. So if you feel like you need more space in your house and you don't want to put an extension on, would a garden room work for you? It works for me.
In Hampshire, it's April. The upstairs bathroom is nearly complete and the front porch is taking shape. I'm back to catch up. I find Lee and Paul have been living out of bags in one of the bedrooms.
Ooh, the boudoir.
Yep, master bedroom. We're getting there.
So you're actually in and living here now?
We are.
Been here a week now, yeah.
We are, yeah.
And it's been challenging, hasn't it?
It has,
obviously
yeah.
Living out of bags and boxes is not a great way to finish a big build.
I think Paul's had it. He's done.
I am.
Are you?
I am done. Yeah. I want it done. I want everyone out, and I want to just enjoy it.
I think you've kind of reached a saturation point, haven't you?
Is it that hard at the moment?
Yeah. I found the whole thing really hard work. It's the time, it's the mess, it's the money, all those sorts of things, it's a combination of everything.
The thing is about making a dream life in the country, people just have this thing, yes, we're going to do the house. there's so many hidden problems.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
million decisions to be
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
You know, you're constantly dealing with the decorators, the joiners, the builders, the
Yeah.
contractors. You're putting fires out all over the place.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So you're having to think on your feet.
Yeah.
And it's going to wear you into the ground.
Yeah.
It is. And then the financial things that you find as you
Yeah.
go along. Have we got enough money to finish the build?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think now that you're so far on, just be very careful. And I think this is a major part of your job now.
Yeah.
Is him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting him over the finish line.
Yeah,
Making sure
definitely.
Paul actually closes the door and puts that smile back on his face.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I want him to love this house. I want it to be our dream home in the country.
Coming up, after a long 8 months, I can finally see what Lee and Paul have created.
Whoa!
How are you?
Well, I'm very happy. How are you?
In Hampshire, Lee and Paul's dream life in a beautiful country village is becoming a reality. They've got their ideal location for country walks and local community. And they're on the final push to finish their dream family home with a huge 2-floor extension and totally transformed inside and out. The bedroom balcony is being built and the underfloor heating is being wired up.
So that's the stat all on now and working, as you can see. And then there we go, so the floor should now heat up.
It's taken longer than expected and has cost more. But I'm back to see the results.
Oh, look at this. Beautiful.
Hey,
Hey, look at you.
welcome back.
Whoa!
How are you?
Well, I'm very happy. How are you?
We're good,
We're
thank
happy
you.
too, yeah.
We're really happy.
Welcome back.
Flip me. I had a little glimpse the last time I was here. You were almost there,
Yep.
but you were also almost on your knees at that
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are there now, I think. And yeah, we've got lots to show you.
When Lee and Paul first bought their 1950s house 2 years ago for $540,000, it was a simple red brick that needed a complete overhaul. It's now unrecognisable, beautifully wrapped in Douglas fir.
Just completely encapsulated in timber.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's starting to weather already, which is nice.
Like a country house. I mean, we love natural materials, wood and stone, and it's just made it fit into the surroundings, hasn't it?
This was a cracking decision.
Yeah.
The outside is great, but it's the inside that needed so much work. Originally, there was a 1950s kitchen and small cramped rooms that hadn't been touched in decades.
Oh, what's it like? It's beautiful.
I'm glad you like it.
This space is amazing. A gorgeous kitchen island gives it a sleek modern feel. And the couple also created the large dining area they were desperate to have for their family, and a utility area to the side.
Oh, you must be so pleased.
Yeah, we are. We absolutely love it. We really do.
And of course, when this was all being planned, we had the couple of £100 decision to make, and what a good decision it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Because you had the soil stack coming down through here.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah.
You would have ended up losing all that space in there.
Yep.
By that simple decision, fast, simple decision,
Yeah.
you've got the perfect run of storage.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we were glad you were here at the time because and it sounds ridiculous, but it really kind of was a dilemma. And I think when we'd made so many decisions, we were just like, what should we do? What should we do?
To give it the rustic feel, they wanted the ceiling to have rough wood planks. This contrasts beautifully with the modern touches in this kitchen.
Guys, this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The colours, the layout, the position of the island is just perfect. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. It
We
just
are so
flows
pleased with
all
it.
the way through, doesn't it? The island's the right size. You've got the dining area just far enough away from there that it's not cluttered. You've done a great job.
We've got the pocket doors.
And we are so glad we made that decision.
Yeah.
You know, because that was something we debated
But I really, really wanted it, and I'm so glad we did it, because it really does open the space up for, you know, family.
It was a great decision, as the pocket doors allow them to have a cosy lounge when they want a bit of peace.
And into a very comfortable living space.
Nice, isn't it?
The fire! Now, I was upset because I loved that little glass-fronted Rayburn that you had in here. And it was just so 50s. It was great, you know?
Yeah.
But you've turned it round, you put your style in here, you put all your touches into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a complete rebuild, you know, knocked it down and started again.
Well, that's downstairs for me. Why don't we take me upstairs, see what's going on up there?
Yeah,
Yep,
it's plenty to
let's go
see.
and have a look.
There's plenty to see, is there?
Upstairs, there are now 4 bedrooms, and the family bathroom is a work of art with a freestanding roll top and a stunning glass walled shower.
What do you think?
Hold on, I just got to give you a round of applause. I'm loving this.
Yeah,
It's really done it, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we're really, really pleased with it.
I see a lot of bathrooms. I see a lot of kitchens. This is very beautiful. Well done, guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
And then
Oh, the bath.
that
yeah,
bath.
The tub.
Oh, it's a beauty.
Yeah, it is lovely. We're really pleased with it.
Is there anything going to be just like ordinary in this house? Because you've really pushed the boat out, and you've done this to such a high standard.
Yeah.
It is so good.
We'll see if we can surprise you a little bit more. Come and have a look at the master bedroom.
This is the one that I've been waiting for. And isn't it worth waiting for?
We think so.
Wow! What a statement!
The vaulted ceiling in the main bedroom is fantastic at the top of the 2-storey extension, and I'm thrilled to see that the balcony is finally in place.
This whole house was built around the view over the back.
It was.
The double-storey extension, everything was to take you out that way. You're lying in bed, and I can see the balcony.
We did it. We managed to get it done.
Can I go out?
Yeah.
You can.
The honour is all yours.
This is what we've all been waiting for. And isn't it stunning?
It is, isn't it?
You've even got the apple trees done.
Yep.
I just think it's just beyond beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
So complete, just flowing from the bedroom out onto here. Everything was focused around this.
Yep. Yep. It was exactly what we wanted.
Wow.
We actually said that waking up here feels like we're on holiday every day. Because it's that amazing, it's that special, it's just, more than we could have wished for. How we feel right now is how we imagined, what we wanted, you know, about this move. And we've achieved it. And it's been hard. It's been really hard. We've probably gone about 40 or 50,000 over budget.
And we're still together, you know. And I think, you know, I think that's testament of the strength of our relationship. And actually, you know, hopefully I've given you the credit for most of this, because this was your vision.
Oh, it's a bit like childbirth.
Is it?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know, but it is. You know, because you go through that really difficult phase, and then at the other side of it, you realise it's worth it, and you'd do it again.
The final cost was £280,000, which I don't think is bad for the quality of finish and work they decided to go for throughout, on top of building a massive extension, completely refurbishing the entire interior and transforming the exterior with timber cladding. They found their perfect location in the country, and it may have been a struggle, but they have truly built their dream family home here.
40 weeks ago, Lee and Paul set out on the journey to take this 1950s red brick house and turn it into the beautiful home that they've been dreaming about for a long time. And I think they've got it absolutely perfect, because they just told me they wouldn't change a thing. I think they've done an amazing job.
Next time, a country cottage in a fairy tale forest, but with chronic problems.
What have you done? Why have you bought this?
A young couple with a tight budget,
£60,000 budget.
renovating for the first time.
Kind of spreading myself too thin.
I
don't think we appreciated how hard it would be.
But needing some tough talk to keep this build on track.
I hope you don't take this wrong. You got your finger out?
Yeah.
And Mark's back earlier next Thursday at 7. Following its lucky locals who call it home, we head to the Isle of Wight, Jewel of the South, starting brand new next Thursday at 8. Back to tonight, and as the bank robbery approaches, can Rowan hold her nerve? Our brand new drama, Desperate Measures, continues next.